Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Trump, please step up to the congregation.
Yes, you are a donkey.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
He's a jackass.
Listen, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, October 22nd goes to our 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. There's a few things I would like to bring to America's attention. I mean, we are on the third week of a government shutdown, day 21, I believe. Okay, the second longest government shutdown in American history. The longest was under the first Trump administration. That was for 35 days, and there seems to be no end in sight. Okay, keep in mind, this is the man who promised economic change on day one. Okay, he said grocery prices, inflation, more money in Americans' pockets on day one. Okay, in January, during his inaugural address, Trump promised to put America first. Okay, and he said he would usher in a new golden age for American families. We are 10 months in, and if you ask me, his policies have made things worse for American families. Are you living your life like it's golden? Huh? Am I making this up? His administration's signature legislation is delivering the largest Medicaid cuts in U.S. history. 15 million people will lose health care coverage, not to mention taking food assistance from kids, seniors, people with disabilities. His nut-ass trade policies have made the cost of living in America worse. Some studies show a $1,300 tax increase per household this year. And the longer the government shutdown drags on, essential services are stopped, and hundreds of thousands of federal workers aren't making no paper. Okay, no money whatsoever. Oh, and did I tell you that SNAP benefits will also stop because of the government shutdown? 42 million people are at risk of losing their food stamps because of the government shutdown. Why am I telling you all these things? I'm telling you all these things because when President Trump said it was going to be a golden age, he wasn't talking about you. Okay, he was talking about the rich. All right, the tax cuts for the rich and bailouts for the rich. First of all, yesterday it was reported that President Trump plans to demand that his Justice Department pay him $230 million over the past investigations into him. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's listen.
They did. They rigged the election. And as you know, we had, in one case, 60 Minutes had to pay us a lot of money. George Slobodanopoulos had to pay us a lot of money. And they already paid. You know, they paid me a lot of money because what they did was wrong. And, you know, when somebody does what's wrong. Now, with the country, it's interesting because I'm the one that makes the decision, right? And, you know, that decision would have to go across my desk. And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. In other words, did you ever have one of those cases where you have to decide how much you're paying yourself in damages?
No.
But I was damaged very greatly. And any money that I would get, I would give to charity.
I'm going to tell you something. If he wasn't the president, he'd be one of my favorite supervillains. Okay, the man is asking for reparations for himself. All right. And he's going to get it. Why? Because the senior department officials he's asking were defense lawyers for him. And now they are in jobs that typically must approve any payout. Do I have to tell you that this is a conflict of interest? Do you care if you are a Trump supporter that you might be starving right now? You have no idea how you're going to pay your bills right now, but he is about to pay himself whatever the hell he wants, but it's going to be $230 million. Listen, okay, that $250 million White House ballroom that Trump is getting built isn't going to pay itself. But don't worry. Trump said he's using some of his own money for the White House ballroom, but he hasn't said how much. And Trump says the project will be paid for with private donations and that no public money will be spent on the ballroom. So if we're keeping score, that's $480 million, right? Okay, so let's just say you're a Trump supporter. Your defense will probably be, well, the investigations against Trump was BS, so he should get reparations for what the government did to him. Never mind, it's unethical. Never mind, he's essentially paying himself. Whatever. And then with the ballroom, I'm sure you will say, well, that's not taxpayer dollars, okay? Well, what about this one? A $20 billion payout for Argentina. You heard me. A $20 billion bailout for Argentina. Let's go to 9 News for the report, please.
President Trump is now considering doubling his promised bailout to Argentina to $40 billion. The move is now drawing criticism from both sides of the aisle. Trump praised Argentina's president during his visit to the White House, calling him MAGA all the way, the president's words. The president initially promised a $20 billion aid package to help Argentina's struggling economy, but Treasury officials confirmed another $20 billion is now being discussed. Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. would exchange dollars for pesos and Argentina would pay it back. However, with Argentina's history of debt defaults, many in Washington are still skeptical.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. You essentially have to borrow the money from China to send it to Argentina. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Rather than fix the healthcare crisis devastating Americans here at home, Trump's doubling down on sending $40 billion to a right-wing MAGA strongman in Argentina.
Today, the Treasury Secretary clarified that that extra money would come from the private sector, not from taxpayers.
Bailouts for another country's economy? At a time like this? Is our economy flourishing? Is our economy booming? I thought it was Make America Great Again, but apparently America has been replaced with Argentina. Okay, my fellow Americans, I ask a simple question. What is America First about sending $20 billion to another country while Americans are suffering? Now, some people say Trump is just using U.S. funds to influence a foreign election, which would definitely be a misuse of public money. Are tax dollars going to influence another country's election? Come on now. Now, I want to put a button on this thing by letting you know that U.S. farmers who have been, shut out of China's soybean market because of Trump's trade war are really hurting. But when asked about the American farmers who feel like he's prioritizing Argentinian farmers more than them, he had this to say.
My question is, what do you have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, they are
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina. They're fighting for their life. You understand what that means? They have no money. They have no anything. They're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, I happen to like the president of Argentina. I think he's trying to do the best he can, but don't make it sound like they're doing great. They are dying.
Jesus Christ. Are American farmers not fighting for their life? Are average everyday Americans not fighting for their life? What is benefiting Americans right now about what's going on in America? Do Americans have money? Huh? How is this making America great again? How is this America first? I just need you all to know that the only thing President Trump cares to make great is his bank account. Okay, the only thing he puts first is himself. And I'm just here to make you aware of what's going on. Argue amongst yourself, because I'm not going back and forth with none of you MAGA bots on social media today. Please give President Donald J. Trump the biggest hee-haw.
All right.
I don't even know how you can argue any of that, but I'm sure MAGA supporters will find a way.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Donkey of the Day is sponsored by renowned personal injury attorney Michael the Bull Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey when you need a fighter on your side. If you're ever injured, go to michaelthebull.com. That's michaelthebull.com. And when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?